Good evening, y'all. So,
Good lady. So when we sitting at, boo? Wherever you want to sit. I want to sit next to
I
Kenny.
figure I'll just chat with you guys while I fold the rest of my clothes this evening. I got stuck at the laundromat. I'm one of those people that do not like to leave the laundry room or the laundromat without folding my clothes first. You know what I mean? So it really sucked when I realized that I had a half hour left to go get my kids to pick them up, which was very sucky. Because I had to, quickly take whatever clothes I didn't, whatever clothes I didn't fold, and what I mean, just throw them in the bag, which I don't like doing because now I come back home and instead of relaxing right now, I'm folding clothes. You know what I mean? I like to do it all in one shot. You know what I mean? Because first of all, I hate going to the laundromat. Of course, after you go, it feels good. The clothes smell great. You know what I mean? You be glad that you went, but I just hate the whole process of getting all the clothes together. And it's not just me, I have a whole family. So getting all the clothes together, um, putting everything in the bags, getting it in the car, driving to the laundromat. Like that's just a lot of work if you ask me. So, um, yeah, that's a lot of work. So with that being said, that's why you know, I really don't enjoy washing clothes. But if I had a washer and dryer in my crib, I'm telling y'all, um, whew, I would never have anything freaking dirty. I would stay with a house full of clean clothes, clean linen for no reason. You feel me? Everything would just be clean and cleaned again and cleaned again and cleaned again. Like, but nope, it doesn't work like that over here because we don't have a mother freaking um wash. So anywho, I'm watching this show. I think it's called Marriage and Listing. I don't know. I don't know what it's called yet, but I'll let you guys know in a minute. Let me turn this way because I don't want to show too much. But I have literally a big pile of clothes sitting on top of my bed. And like I'm telling you guys, I was almost done with my clothes, folding my clothes, or at least it appeared that way because I was folding forever. But that's not what happened. So anywho, I'm watching this show that I just started watching because I needed something new to binge on, and it's about married couples and um, their their careers, which are somewhere amongst the line in like contracting, commercial properties, things of that nature. Um, all black cast or whatever. It's a reality show. It comes on OWN network, which is Oprah. I mean, if you don't know that by now, get from the rock that you sleeping under. Okay. But anywho, um it's very interesting. I believe they're I don't know if they're in Atlanta. No, they're not in Atlanta. They're in Huntington. I'm not really sure. Maybe that is in Georgia. I don't know. I don't know where this place is located. Um, but what I do know is that it's somewhere down south and they have a very heavy country accent. Now, one of the couples, like they're all friends, obviously. They've been friends for about 4 years. both husband and wife. They're like a group of friends. They work together. They do business together, or at least trying to anyway. But and as you can see, like I'm not really folding perfect because I'm sitting here or whatever. I might do the black dress. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna wear tomorrow. I need to wear the perfect outfit tomorrow, so to work. So I don't know. I might wear that. But anywho, it's just one of the couples have a very interesting situation going on, and that situation falls in the lines of infidelity. The husband obviously is having an affair in his marriage or has issues. That's not fully dry. Has issues in his marriage from having an affair. Now, basically, he's had this girlfriend that he's been dating while being married to his wife for over 2 years. And when she thinks that is done and that is over, turns out that it's not, it's still going on, or the girl pops back up and calls again. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. So now she's had enough. You know what I mean? She stuck it out. She did what she can. And now she ready to, get a divorce. And of course he don't want to lose his family. He don't want to lose his family. Seems to me he wants his cake and eat it too. But when I feel like when men realize that a woman is done, a woman is fed up, that's when they get their ish together. You know what I mean? When they're a piece of crap, I feel like that's when they decide like, yo, she really finna leave me. Let me go to counseling. Now let me read my Bible. Now let me do this. Now let me do that. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the time when, men that behave that way decide, let me get my ish together because I'm really about to lose her. You know what I mean? So that's where they're at right now. And she went to speak to their financial advisor, who is an older black gentleman, who has been they've been married for 10 years. So they've been working with this guy for a good deal in their relationship, and she went to speak with him to get financial advice, but also from like a fatherly kind of advice standpoint, because of the relationship or the rapport that they have with one another. So of course he's an older black gentleman, and he's basically telling her, like, whatever it is, she just, there's always a solution, and she should just, stick it out and consider other options. Like, don't leave him. But black men are gonna have black men back. You know what I mean? So when he hears this young man's wife wants to leave him, of course he's like, oh, I'm not happy hearing that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel good hearing that. I want y'all to work it out, as anybody would want, them to work it out. But him not knowing the details, he throw in there, oh, when men get married, we tend to forget to do the things that we were doing in the beginning of the relationship, that, you know what I mean, that kept us, that got us with you or whatever. And she's like, no, that never stopped. Like, he was always doing that, basically saying that's not it. That's not why I'm leaving him. Like, he sends me flowers, he takes me on dates, he tells me he loves me, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, I'm fine, all of that. That never stopped. He still courts, you know what I mean? It's the cheating. You know what I mean? So she's just totally over it. You know what I mean? To the point where she's pregnant now. He doesn't even know. But she still wants to leave. Now, let me tell you guys something from experience. If a woman is willing to leave you while she's pregnant, you in trouble. You really effed up now, mother effer. Because It takes a mother freaking lot to stomach that and say, look, I can't do it anymore. You guys know, for those who has followed me in the past, my pregnancy, um, we did separate or whatever. I say separate because we're together now. But we did, I did leave him. You know what I mean? And it took a lot for me to leave. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like when you're pregnant, it's just like, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to do this pregnant, because you got to think about the baby and what kind of stress you want. You know what I mean? Not saying that there was cheating or whatever the case may be going on, but there was so many other issues. There's so many other things that can go wrong in a relationship where cheating is just not always the case. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times men think, oh, because they're not cheating, that they're succeeding in the relationship. Like, oh, I could be out here doing this, that, and the third and that. No, there's so much more you can be doing, because I'm not out here cheating, but I'm doing more. You know what I mean? I'm not out here cheating, but I'm putting more into the relationship than you are right about now. So, back to the show, her thing is like, oh, I folded all that up already? Dang. Sis move fast, y'all. So her thing is, she's just over it at this point. Like, she's not finna go on anymore in this relationship. He already proved to her that he don't take her serious. And he has admittedly said to the counselor, because he is getting counseling, he said to the guy, he called his side chick a peasant, honey. So for all you girls out there sleeping with somebody man, you're a peasant. I was a peasant once upon a time, okay? All right, that's another topic for another day. But he called the girlfriend that he's been dealing with for over 2 years a peasant. He says she's a peasant to me. Now he's getting everything. He's getting he feels like he's the man, because he get to fly this girl out. Talking about the side chick, fly this girl out, put her in hotels and in rooms. He has businesses. Like, he's very prominent. He's a wealthy, well-off man. So he's doing this, that, and the third for her. Having a whole relationship, like emotionally, literally having a whole secret lifestyle with this woman. And of course she knows that he's married and things of that nature. Don't they always? So he feel like because he can do it, and he was getting away with doing it, resulted in his reason for doing it, which is really pathetic. Like, guys, just because you can cheat on somebody don't really mean you really should. Like, that's really some bull. That really is. Like, just stop and think about, if you can't consider the woman that you are cheating on with feelings, you know what I mean? There's guys that cheat in guilt. That's why they not leaving their woman for whoever the side chick is. You know what I mean? That's why it would take for her to leave. You know what I mean? Not for him to leave her, but for her to leave him, whether she know about it or not. But I feel like if a man cannot, or a woman cannot at least consider the emotions or how the other person would feel if they knew that you were cheating, there's something seriously wrong with you, and you really need to go see a doctor. Because you might be a narcissist, a sociopath, or psychotic. Seriously, look into it. I really believe that, because stepping out on your partner, it does so much damage. You know what I mean? Like, it really can destroy a person. it really can destroy a person, and sometimes it does temporarily. I mean, I had it happen to me, you know what I mean, and um it felt like it destroyed me, you know what I mean. It broke me down to the core, and it took a lot to rebuild myself up, you know what I mean, when it did happen and when I was able to face it, you know what I mean. Fortunately for me, I don't stay down for long, but when I do stay down and I'm broken down, it seems long because it does go on than more than expected. So I'm just saying this from, you know, my point of view when it comes to things like this. I'm technically not married, so I can't really speak on marriage and what this woman is going through. But she did point out something, and that's what brought me to this video that I wanted to share with you guys. She did point out how she was really disgusted by her financial advisor, the older gentleman, who basically was telling her to stay. He was trying to make excuse for, us guys, we do this and that and just stick it out. Then he tried to tell her, oh, how much inequity do you have? Because she's talking about she wants to split, equally. So he said, well, how much? She said, oh, I have some houses that's in equity or whatever. He said, well, how much is it worth right about now? She told him, and he said, oh, if I were you, I would wait a year before I divorce him, because you will get over $50,000 or something like that. Like, it will go up if you wait 12 months. And she looked, and you can see like she's really disturbed by that information, like not information, but by what he's trying to stress to her. And she says in her confessional, like, you know what I mean, there's so many more important reasons that she believed you should get a divorce, and none of it is surrounding financial gain. You know what I mean? Like, that's how bad it is to her. Like, she is not worth sticking in for another year. Another year? Like, that's how over it she is. You know what I mean? So she made the comment, like, like she was like, okay, thank you so much. It was nice talking to you. Like, she got up out of there. And she stated in her confessional, like, how turned off she was, because it's like it reminded her of all the older couples that have been married for 25 plus years. And you know how you always want to say, oh, I've been married to my husband, or I've been married to my wife, or we've been married for 25 plus years. And that struck a nerve for me, because that's something that I want to say, you know what I mean. And she's coming like, a lot of times, which is facts, a lot of times, she says, most of those older people, like, they had to go through a toxic relationship. She said a lot of these people were unhappily married, you know what I mean. And she said, we live in a day and age now, we're not going to stick by you if you cut up and act up. We're going to be out. And I was like, that's really interesting that she said that, because the other day I made a comment speaking with someone and talking about what I've been going through, or what I've been through in life, in my relationships and stuff. And I told her, sometimes, unfortunately, you do have to go through the bad to get the good, you know what I mean? And that just depends on you and your preference and what you're willing to swallow, you know what I mean. Not saying you accept something, but you just, this happened, y'all dealt with it, the reaction was the reaction, what caused it, this, that, and the third, the response to it, y'all got through it, and now you're here, you know what I mean. And I know a lot of people say, like, I don't want to have to be with somebody. Like, I seen a meme today that says, I want to be with one man that know how to treat me right, or that get it right the first time. I don't want to have to be with somebody that takes 50 tries for him to get it right, or whatever the case may be. And that's real talk, you know what I mean. But you know what I mean, I say to each his own, you know what I mean. You can't judge someone's situation if they feel like this is what's meant for them. Not everyone is meant to go through something toxic and that's the relationship that they should be in, and this, that, and the third. Not everyone is supposed to be there through thick and thin. You know what I mean? But for some of us, you know what I mean, it just worked out that way. You know what I mean? And then it may ultimately come to a point where you have to ask yourself, how much more am I willing to put out? Like, how much more am I willing to wait? How much more am I willing to take? How much more do I have to swallow? How much more? You know what I mean? Before you decide, like, I'm just done. You know what I mean? Is you can't judge other people, and I say this because I was that person that judged other people, like friendships surrounding me. I was that person judging their relationship and just like, how? Because I was very independent and single for a good deal of my adult life. You know what I mean? So it was just like, how can you deal with something like that? Like, like if it was me, I'm not putting up with that. But then you get pushed to that situation, and then it's like, okay, you know what I mean? And there is every other person that you dealt with that you will never allow, or you will never take them back after. But then there's that one, you know what I mean? So I say, to each his own. Excuse me, everyone is different, and it has to be really beneficial. You have to really genuinely pay attention and make sure you are seeing change, and it's just not like a repetitive toxic moment. You know what I mean? It's not red flags being waved. Like, you have to see this person grow, and you have to actively see them changing and trying to change. Not, oh, I'm trying to change, but I'm cheating on you every other day. Like, no, that's not trying to change. Oh, because I go to church and now I slipped up, I messed up, and I'm cheating on you. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, oh, we have a little argument here and there about nothing. You know what I mean? And, oh, you know what? I can't deal with this, that, and the third. And you see the effort that they're putting into apologize. Things that they weren't doing before. What is that? Yeah. So at this point, I'm just gonna let this go because I'm gonna come back on this subject, but I just wanted to get that much out. Okay, like, I really did. Because I gotta put these clothes up. I'm ready to get ready for bed. But anywho, I want y'all to just let it marinate. You know what I mean? To each his own. Okay. So anywho, I know I ended kind of abruptly, but I'm like looking at the time like, okay, I really need to get to go. And all right, so anywho, I'm gonna wrap this up tonight, but I will be touching base with you guys tomorrow. Peace and love and harmony, and be blessed.